There's so much talk about, oh, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up.
No one can truly tell you where the housing market is going in 2026, and I'm not here to lie to you. In saying that, there are things you can do to get further ahead, no matter which direction the market turns. See, most people view buying a home as a binary transaction. You buy a home or you get left behind. The reality is, depending on what your current rent is, purchase price of the home you're looking to buy, and what you do with your savings, could mean renting actually gets you closer to your dream of owning the American dream. So let's check out the numbers. I know you thought it'd probably be a guy in his room writing down by hand each of the individual costs it takes in order to afford a home. But it's 2026. I'm using Excel. I would use AI if I didn't have to prompt it for everything. But essentially, this is a calculator to easily allow anyone to figure out how much it costs for them to buy the home of their dreams, just using the home price. What I see online currently is a lot of people, a lot of loan originators and mortgage brokers guesstimating things. In reality, that guesstimation can, provide a world of headache. Underestimating costs is never great, definitely when you're buying at the top end of your budget. This just easily allows me to calculate the cost of home ownership for myself. So let's look at this. So currently, the average home price in America is around $514,000. So let's just put $514,000 in, and let's see the costs that are generated. So the monthly payment you can see on this home in green here is around $4,500, $4,487. That's based on an APR mortgage rate, which right now is around 5.9%. If you have great credit for a 30-year mortgage, this does take in consideration a $50,000 down payment. You can see your mortgage payment, the actual, baseline fee is only $2,881, but there's a ton of other fees that we can go over here: monthly PMI, monthly taxes, monthly insurance. If you have a condo, an HOA fee, as well as if you want to put down any additional money to pay off that mortgage quicker, that's also an option here. But I've also included your monthly maintenance costs. Some people say maintenance costs is a part of your mortgage. Of course, it's not part of your mortgage, but it is part of your monthly cost of ownership in comparison to renting. Because when that water heater breaks, when that roof leaks, you're going to have to do maintenance. You can't tell your partner, hey, it's not a part of our home costs. You're going to get it fixed, and it is an added cost over renting. So I'm including it here. Another thing that I see not included often online is just your closing costs. When people say I'm putting $50,000 down, they're not even considering what the closing costs are. And those closing costs can eat into your down payment, or it could be baked into the loan. Either way, it will be paid for. There are individuals that work on your behalf in order to close the transaction. They must be paid if you're using their service. So I have that factored in as well into just the house calculator. But you can see here, monthly payment is $4,487 for buying the standard American price home at this current time. And then right here, I just have the opportunity cost. So what we're really going to look at here is if you could get further ahead from renting. And when I say further ahead, I mean in terms of wealth generation. Can you increase your net worth more by renting for a period of time if you want to use that money to eventually buy the home of your dreams? Or just to see if you're getting further behind from renting. It's really dependent on the numbers, but this calculator makes it easy to see what the actual cost of home ownership is versus what your costs and what you could do with your savings from renting. So I put in the average, rent in the United States right now. It's around $1,800. So average U.S. home versus, average cost of renting. And then right here, right below on opportunity costs box here, you can see savings from renting. So your savings from renting is just the full cost monthly of owning a home minus what your current rent is. And that's what you're saving monthly from renting. Within, the spreadsheet here, as you'll, notice below, I do have an estimated rent increase that increases year over year over year because your landlord is not going to keep your rent the same over 30 years. So if we want to make a true apples to apples comparison, you have to take in consideration that your rent is going to increase. Also, for that money that you're going to be saving and using to accumulate, I'm assuming, a lot of people may put it in a high yield index fund, but here I'm looking at an annual rate of return of 8%, which can be done by putting your money in an SPY index fund or another market fund. If you look online over the last 30 years, I think we've had great gains in the market, around a 9.7% average return. And then we're going to compare that with annual appreciation rate, as well as the equity that you build in your house as you pay off principal. So it's going to be equity and appreciation versus the annual rate of return and the money that you're saving from renting. And we'll just look at that in a second. So we go all the way right here on this spreadsheet. You can see equity and appreciation versus money from renting. First year, uh, cumulatively with the 8% interest rate, you are at 87,000, and equity and appreciation by that end of the first year, you're around 59,000. If you go all the way down, you can see what it is, but I've also created an automatically generated graph where you can just see your equity and appreciation, the blue line, is much lower than your money from renting, your compounding money. Just to be accurate here, $3.5 million over 30 years you could have when comparing, buying the average American home currently in 2026, or just the equity and appreciation with that home and that principal that you built up over time would be worth at a 5% annual rate of return of appreciation. In both cases you're a millionaire, but 2.2 million for a home versus 3.5 million if you were to continue to invest that equity, or the difference between renting and buying into a money market account. I also have some other cool things here on the spreadsheet. Just what your interest payment on the loan is versus what your principal is. Just something cool if you want to look at what the true numbers are. I actually have a link in the description if you would like to check out the calculator yourself. It's at housingit.com. Let me know if you'd like to see anything different. I've been thinking of different scenarios that I've seen and to compare. But it really just depends on your situation, right? If your current rent is a little higher and you're looking to buy a slightly less expensive home, numbers could be different. If your annual rate of return is 3.3% on your high yield savings account versus the 8% that I have here, your situation could be different. But it really just depends on, like I said in the starting point of this video, what your current rent is, the home price that you're looking to buy, as well as what you do with your savings. That could really impact how you get closer to the American dream of either owning a home or building wealth. But they're really one and the same. So, yeah, let me know what you'd like to see later. Bye.